I was reading this You and the Law, yeah. And I had went through the state's response yesterday about how the protection order is invalid. Yes, yes, yes. And how I was not given due process in 2011. Yeah. And why there was no jurisdiction for the arrest. Yeah. And why there should not have been a jury trial. That's correct. And why there shouldn't have been a renewal of the protection order. They shouldn't have had another protection order issued in 2012 when the reason that the petitioner gave was that I broke the protection order, but in actuality I was proven not guilty. Yeah. Now, I had actually read most of that document for that petition for renewing the protection order. Yes. I had been arrested, but I actually did not break the protection order. I was found not guilty. Now, it seemed like in Clallam County, if you were arrested, you were presumed guilty instead of being presumed innocent. Now, there's what's known as innocent unless proven guilty. Right. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, I noticed that somebody had motioned the court just 3 or 4 days after I was arrested and I had gotten out of jail. Yes. And there was a minute order, but when I had read the reasoning for wanting to renew the protection order was that I had broke the protection order. I had violated the protection order. Yes. The truth of the matter is it should have been removed as soon as I was found guilty, or found not guilty. Thank you. As soon as I was found not guilty. Now, when county commissioners or judges renew protection orders where there was no jurisdiction to issue it to start with, and then they find out that I was actually found not guilty and I didn't violate the protection order, yes, it should have been removed. Now, interference with a jury. Embracery is an attempt by wrongful and corrupt means to influence a jury in reaching a verdict. We speak of this old but relatively rare offense these days as tampering with the jury or juror. It is a misdemeanor, as is the somewhat more common offense of tampering with a witness or doing anything that with the intent of influencing his testimony or of inducing him not to appear as a witness when he is legally bound to do so. Interference with a jury. Now, I had made mention in one of the videos last night that I'm about 99% sure that it wasn't Heidi on the witness stand. Yes. And there was probably 25 to 30 different body doubles that were used during all those court hearings and all those commissioner hearings, and about 95% of the signatures were forgeries, because I did read the signatures on the documents that were served on me when I lived in the fifth wheel in 2012. Yes. Now, when you reissued a protection order for an additional year just because I was arrested, I didn't break the protection order. I didn't violate it. I was found not guilty. Now, I know about the no's. Let's say I know that the police officers or the sheriffs or those in law enforcement or those in judiciaries had put a clone on me or had put surveillance technology on me so they could hear what I was saying this whole time. And then instead of accepting that what they were listening to was, well, reason to want to remove the protection order, they decided that they were going to have me go to a jury trial where I was found not guilty, but then there could have been surveillance technology on the jurors. Now, I know I was found not guilty because I didn't violate it. I had called Healthy Families of Clallam County to see if they'd gotten the documentation from the Attorney General on Guam that I'd completed the 7 hours of parenting classes and that I wanted to reconcile with my family. But instead of actually doing what any healthy family would want to do, the name Healthy Families denotes that reconciliation would have been best because we had an argument on Guam and I didn't actually commit any domestic violence or any child abuse. Now, I know that I'm going to get copies of every document issued by the Clallam County Courthouse, but I'm going to need to know all the jurors of every jury of every trial for the last, 20 years. Did any police officers stop them during the time of being a juror on any jury so as that law enforcement wanted to influence the decision making of those in jury trials? Were there some police officers that had to be on the citizen and had to inform him, well, no hitchhiking, sir, but it just so happened that it was during a jury trial when they could be on the person, and they thought, well, we better control the jury so we get a not guilty or guilty verdict depending upon what law enforcement wanted. Now, when you interrupt the private life of a citizen, it's quite possible that those elected and appointed to office, those that are attorneys, judges, and justices, they wanted certain verdicts from jurors, so they thought, well, we'll sew into them and then we'll decide what the jury decides so that whatever we decide, and because we're the oaths of office. Now, for every jury trial, give me the actual names of the jurors that had sworn on oath that they would listen to the evidence, and then tell me all the surveillance technology that was on every juror of every jury trial, and then who was it that had to be on them? Was it a private citizen or a corporation? Pow, 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 pow. Was it the local government?